Hey, it's Mike Stiles. Here's the Content Marketing Quickie for the week ending December 10th. If you don't like being made fun of, maybe you shouldn't watch South Park, because Jason Lynch reports in Adweek they've been hitting the marketing industry pretty hard, and there's no indication it's going to stop soon. On the show, new student Leslie isn't a human, but is actually an ad that's evolved to its environment. The school editor who rejects sponsored content says, "For years, mankind has tried to rid the world of ads. Mankind invented cable, a way to pay for television so there would be no ads. But the ads still found a way. And so mankind invented TiVo, a way to skip commercials. With the rise of the internet, the ads had a new way to attack us, pop-ups. The top scientific minds were brought together to find a way to stop the ads. They invented the ad blocker. But the ads adapted. They disguised themselves as news. Now the ads are among us. They could be your friend, your gardener." CEB says B2B buyers usually have 57% of their minds made up before they ever talk to a salesperson. But Clara Bridges' Elizabeth Clore says that doesn't matter. Executives being slow to buy into content marketing is always in the top 5 challenges B2B marketers grouse about. So she offers 4 ways to get that buy-in. 1. Uncover pain points across the org. Tie everything to business objectives and use language they understand. 2. Tie revenue to content using your average deal size and lead conversion rate. 3. Instead of telling them what you plan to do, list the objectives and pain points you discovered and map tactics to them. See, phrases like mapping tactics, execs love corporate speak garbage like that. And 4, execs don't seem to care about engagement, so use data that speaks to the sales opportunity or is compared to competitor data. If you've got a podcast, you probably wouldn't mind wider distribution and more listeners being exposed to what you're doing. You want to see if there's anything beyond iTunes, and there is. Internet broadcasting platform Live 365 and podcast hosting site Blueberry have teamed up to create a new service, Podcast to Radio. It's at www.blueberry, that's BRRY.fm. Here's the thing, podcasts are on-demand kind of affairs. What Podcast to Radio will do is put out a curated lean back, that means you just lean back and listen, stream for podcasters that puts them in the top streaming platforms like Roku, Apple TV, and AHA Radio. It also gets you on other Android and iOS devices. There's over 65 million new users to be had. Live 365 senior content strategist Ray Palermo says, "We don't expect streaming to replace the on-demand experience of podcasting, but a lean-back stream can offer podcasters exposure to new audiences, reliable daily analytics for advertisers and sponsors, and an opportunity for podcast networks to create curated content for marketing purposes." Blueberry CEO Todd Cochran is happy too, and so am I if I get 65 million more listeners. Content marketing honcho Michael Brenner gives us some stats about video that might interest you, such as online video now accounts for 50% of all mobile traffic. 78% of people watch videos online every week. 75% of senior executives watch work-related videos at least weekly. 85% of respondents already using video marketing found it fairly or extremely successful. Using the word video in an email subject line increases open rates 19%, boosts click-through rate 65%, and reduces unsubscribes 26%. And sites that include videos have, on average, an extra 2-minute dwell time. That's the time somebody spends before going back to their search results. When you want to watch every second of Justin Bieber's redemption and comeback, you might be doing that on Vivo. Well, actually, you'd be doing it on Vivo on YouTube, because that's who Vivo uses for a bulk of its distribution. Turns out they aren't altogether comfy with that arrangement, because they just announced their newest acquisition, ShowU. Now, what'd they go and do that for? Because it's a subscription video streaming platform, and Vivo wants to start competing with paid video plays like YouTube Red and Spotify. Jordan Crook reports ShowU started as a social curator, but now it delivers short-form video from content providers like NASA TV, Reddit TV, and Vice Media, who, by the way, set their own prices for their channels. We subscribers can pay monthly or yearly, sometimes called annually. Personalization is where it's at. People want to watch what they're likely to like. I don't know about you, but I want what celebrities have. Villas in Italy, assistants to brush my teeth every day, private amusement parks. But Facebook is now making something that was just for public figures available to all of us no-name nobodies. Live video is Facebook's Periscope, letting you live broadcast to your followers. And now that they've done that, there's no question they're going head-to-head with Periscope. Facebook also put out Collage, a tool that lets you share pictures and videos in an interactive grid, and there's word of a new sharing tool built for mobile that's a bit more like how Tumblr handles things, asking you up front what kind of media you're wanting to share. Nielsen knows cable subscriptions and TV viewership is going down, but they wanted to know if the second screen is a possible remedy to that somewhere down the road. So they looked at tweet impressions about TV for 96 fall TV shows. Live tweeting made up for 57% of the weekly Twitter TV impressions. And the thing about that is, you can't live tweet about a show with your friends if you aren't watching it at the same time. Well, I guess you can, but you'd need an unprecedented level of mass cooperation. If you're on Twitter during the peak of live show conversation, you'll see 2 times the TV-related tweets. Also, when a show isn't on, most of the conversation is about the show in general and what's going to happen, while a third of it is people talking about recent episodes. The takeaway is the spike in TV-related tweets during live airings is a good time to do some cross-promotion. If you've been paying any attention at all, you know that Twitter is growing increasingly dissatisfied being just a platform for 140-character text missives. So they launched that Moments thing where you look at images and videos about certain topics. That was added to auto-playing videos and redesigned profiles that made media easier to see. Well, here comes another step in not being that 140-character text thing. They've changed how pictures look on the website, like you're using Twitter on desktop. Before, you got cropped photos in a grid. Now you get the whole thing in a dynamic gallery. Product manager Arkashan Kumar says rich media has become essential to the experience. If I said I was going to tell you about something that died and came back to life, you'd think I was talking about Rick and his gang of Walker experts. But no, I'm talking about Circa, the mobile news site mostly known for letting users get updates on news stories with notifications. It went belly up when founder Matt Galligan and crew couldn't land a round of funding they needed to survive. But it's been bought and rescued by none other than the biggest TV station owner in the U.S., Sinclair Broadcast Group. They're not just harvesting the parts either. They're going to relaunch Circa as an independent company, with John Solomon, former VP for Content and Biz Dev for the Washington Times, as Chief Creative Officer. The Wall Street Journal's Keach Hagee reports the plan is to hire 70 journalists to do original reporting, plus use video feeds from Sinclair's 172 stations. Sinclair Digital Group's Rob Weisbord wants to attract those millennials, so Circa will be irreverent and lean neither right nor left. The Branded Content Marketing Association has relaunched in the United States and is now BCMA USA rather than BCMA North America. J. Walter Thompson, New York's head of branded content and entertainment, Mike Weiss, is going to be the president, and he doesn't even have to figure out how to solve this ISIS thing. He used to be a BCMA advisory board member, if you're wondering what the path to the presidency is. What they do is watch the evolution of brands as producers, publishers, and media entities. Mike says our mission is for storytellers to become better marketers and marketers to become better storytellers. Presidents give good speeches like that. They'll get content leaders together and promote creative and strategic approaches to advance brand content. It's news I've been waiting for my whole life. Watching TV can make you smarter. And we're not talking about my forced viewing of Sesame Street as a child. Learning platform lynda.com is coming to Roku. LinkedIn bought it in April for $1.5 billion and now wants to get it in front of more people who don't know stuff. 150,000 educational videos with more being added every day. And the Roku app will sync your lessons up across devices so you don't lose your place. I know all that sounds good and you're ready to go back to school, but here's the question. Lynda.com costs $20 to $35 a month. That's more, a good bit more than even the most expensive streaming entertainment options like Netflix, Hulu, and HBO Go. So we're about to learn if people perceive learning stuff as being more valuable than entertainment. I don't need to spend a lot of time here convincing you that Instagram is successful, but occasionally I'll update you on just how successful it's being, especially for brands. Simply Measured reports that no matter what the metric, participation and engagement is up. 90% of the brands studied have Instagram accounts, up from 50% in 2012. About 80% of accounts are active weekly and have over 10,000 followers. A third of companies post 10 to 20 times a month, and the number of brands posting over 50 times a month has doubled in 3 years. Likes and comments increased 53% year over year. And as I've reported here before, posts with hashtags and location tags and posts with multiple hashtags do better than posts with no hashtags at all or too many of them. That's it. The transcript is at brandcontentstudios.com, available for $35 a month. No, it's free.